Warning, this video has spoilers for Horimiya. Watch it before viewing or don't. I could use the views. Please.
Hearts on fire tonight. Feel my bones ignite. Feels like war, war. Feels like war, war. Hearts on fire tonight. Feel my bones ignite. Feels like war, war. Feels like.
Horimiya, on the surface, is your generic rom-com, and in some ways, it's just that. But God, is it an idea done to death, executed so well that it feels alive, despite the idea having been done to death. Every character is pretty well fleshed out with their own interactions, relationships, strange quirks and traits that come to crush your soul when you eventually reach the end of the series. But before we go on about my entire overview of the show, let's break it down and talk about the characters. You dropped this. Huh? Okay, take it. My Chemical Romance.
I got your picture. I'm coming with you, dear Marie.
Miyamura is initially a depressive, awkward, self-conscious guy who is a self-proclaimed emo kid. It's a lot more apparent when he's out of school, because as you can see in this photo, Miyamura looks pretty normal. Long hair, suit, looks pretty good. And then you meet him outside of school and... yeah. Say it with me, it's not a phase!
Going down, around, and sugar will going down swinging. I'll be your number one with them.
Jokes aside, Miyamura's character is very hesitant, almost scared of people, and doing his best to leer away from conversation entirely. But I mean, could you blame him? He's been through so much bullying, negativity, and so much dog shit that I'm surprised dude even clapped back from that and got real, ending the series happy. He's genuine and relatively unserious in conversation, though he might suddenly just drop that and get all sentimental and poetic for no rhyme or reason. I mean, you gotta keep tugging at the viewer's heartstrings, am I right? Also, remember when I said awkward? That's very apparent early on in the series. She is popular. Fall Out Boy. Dude, couldn't you just talk normal for once? I can't do that. You just did! Panic at the Disco. You motherfucker! He also at times can be physical, evidenced by when Hori is falsely blamed for losing the finance records even though she turned them in, and he responds to this by giving Sengoku trauma. I can't word it any other way. He was traumatized. Huh? What's with the commotion? Look, all I want is an apology because you lost the finance records. Is that so hard? This isn't fair, you prick! Hey, Ishikawa. What? You gonna hold me back? Actually, I was hoping you'd be the one doing the holding back. I'm gonna crash out. And you are? Look, you do realize My Chemical Romance stopped being cool in 2006. Jesus! Holy fuck! Shit's out My Chemical Romance again! I will rip you to shreds! You fuck! Hey, I think you're awesome. I said shut up! Hori's initial personality toward her friends and those around her actually runs consistent throughout the entire series, considering her life was considerably less tough than Miyamura's. Again, she has her own personal struggles, which I do not want to invalidate. She's seen as bright, energetic, and friendly, her reputation rivaling that of Teruhashi from Saiki K. Universally loved and viewed as somebody attractive, an antithesis of Miyamura, who is seen as this depressing, dark, gloomy kid. Hori is also genuine in conversations but gets easily flustered in said conversations, in which cases she tends to get physically violent. So you know what that means, baby? Domestic violence! You're her boyfriend? Domestic violence! You her dad? Domestic violence! You finished making her cry? Domestic violence! She's mad at you, you're Miyamura, and you suck at explaining things? Oh baby, it's time for double domestic violence! Woo! Here's the thing though, these characters may appear genuine, but their true selves are only shown around each other, something that's established in the first episode when there's this mutual agreement to keep their true selves to each other. Was that the first episode? I don't know what episode that was. And this close, truly personal and genuine relationship blossoms into a budding romance which is mutually understood in the fourth episode where Miyamura confesses to her. Huh. I'd tell you your temperature, but I can't read. Anyway, I've heard there's something going on in Shibuya. I'll go check it out. Also, Hori, I'm in love with you. Anyway, Paramore. Whoa! The romance grows more intense, but it doesn't ruin the show by making it too lovey-dovey, as they still keep moments that remind you that they're not just an on-screen couple for the sake of being one, but because they genuinely enjoy each other's company. It's really realistic in that sense, only making the more intense moments, well, rewarding, I guess. I mean, you could definitely say some moments were a bit more rewarding than others. Your facial expression is starting to really concern me. Pierce the veil. God fucking damn it. And then he got laid! But thankfully, the relationship is not the entire series' focus. It would get very taxing if every single minute of the anime was just them, and there are thankfully many scenes in which side characters are focused on. That piece of dried rice on his face is killing me. I'll have to take it off, for my own sake. Hey man, I left my cell up here. I was hoping I could get it. Actually, I'd never had a phone in the first place. I never had eyes. I never had a face. I never had ears. I didn't see anything. Goodbye.
No, there's rice on his face, and I wanted to get rid of it. It's messing with my head.
The sticky white stuff on his face is messing with your...
Okay, now you're just putting words into my mouth.
Horimiya has a colorful range of side characters that are unbelievably interesting with just as much of a detailed and well thought out personality and history as the two protagonists. But for the sake of not wasting your time, I won't be going too in depth to the side characters, considering you've probably already watched the series, and if you haven't, what the fuck are you doing? So, in the words of Funk,
it's time for a lightning round.
Yoshikawa is Hori's best friend and a character with an inferiority complex who hides their emotions for the sake of not troubling others. It should be also known that this inferiority complex leads to a lot of jealousy because she eventually falls in love with the next character, Ishikawa, who's Hori's other best friend, who starts off jealous of Miyamura but becomes one of his closest friends after accepting his relationship with Hori. Though he's a bit explosive and he's kinda like Ryuji from Persona 5, you'll see. Ishikawa, what are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that your music taste is dog shit. The fuck you say to me? Hold on, wait, chill.
Morning, guys. Got a bit roughed up. Also, it should be noted that he's literally dreamed of killing Miyamura, which is kind of fucked. The student council trio is initially introduced as this manipulative, pretentious, and imposing symbol of power, till Miyamura takes a page out of his girlfriend's book and uses domestic violence. Sengoku rarely shows emotions other than anger and irritation, but he does lighten up and soften throughout the series, especially around Remy and Sakura. Hell, he even spends some time with the boys. But Remy isn't anything like Sengoku, yet manages to score a place in his heart as his girlfriend because they both love literature. She's childish, wears her emotions on her sleeve, she's stupid, dim-witted, and very childish, and it's only emphasized by the fact that she speaks in the third person, quite a polar opposite compared to her boyfriend. But Sakura is the most interesting character, and honestly, the way her story goes makes me kind of sad. She's introduced as this really insecure person who doesn't see much worth in themselves, and when she does confess to her crush Ishikawa, well, we know how that goes because Yoshikawa exists. Hoping things change for her in The Missing Pieces, which I'm yet to watch because she's a really sweet character. Those 5 are the most notable side characters, and I literally couldn't yap about the rest because there's not much for me to yap about. So let's press on and talk about why this anime is so good. I'd like to take this moment to appreciate Miyamura's English voice actor. Also, yes, I watched this in dub. Leave me alone.
Told me you wanted a future with me. could give you this very sky as a gift, I would in a heartbeat.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't want to elaborate on that.
Anyway, Horimiya's story is actually a pretty fast-moving one, as many days pass in the first episode, not really dwelling on Hori and Miyamura growing closer and reducing them getting to know little things about each other to little bits on the screen, but it doesn't feel like it moves too fast, and it does allow you to savor the slower, more serious and intimate moments. Also, expertly blends comedy with romance with the help of many side characters and scenarios which they can bring up. These moments interject some character development without completely depressing you, which only makes the moments where the side characters are at their most vulnerable so precious and special. Be it the expansion of insecurities regarding the side characters, or the genuinely really intimate moments between Hori and Miyamura, it gives you the best of both worlds, the comedy and romance, with some genuinely deep shit thrown in there. Hori and Miyamura's relationship is one of the most incredible things I've witnessed on a screen. Like I said, they don't shove these intimate moments down your throat, making them feel very natural and earned. It manages to build up so much without pissing me off and dragging on for 12 episodes. Do you know how annoying it is when you have a romance anime where you wait till the last episode of the season for anything intimate, and if they do end up confessing to each other, you don't get to see the rest of it play out as an anime because the studio drops the series. For fuck's sake! The relationship is a tasteful blend of conflict, love, anger, frustration, insecurities, basically everything about themselves they make known to each other, no matter what happens. And the genuine emotion and gratitude in Miyamura's ending speech is just cherry on top. Because there's so much truth to what he says. Their love stemmed from how true to themselves they were to each other. No fronts. Just them. But of course, I'd also like to hone in on the anger and frustration side, because Hori tends to be at war with herself. Quite a few times actually, especially when it comes to Miyamura, wanting to give her best for him and in turn stressing her out, so much so that when she makes attempts to get intimate with him, it ends up in him getting scared half to death. But I mean, she technically didn't fail that because that leads into the... yeah. Also, let's not forget, she's still Hori. She's gonna throw a book at him or hit him in the face, but that's expected. I'd like to draw a bit of attention to the scene where Miyamura talks to his younger self for the last time. This scene was absolutely incredible because it really does show how much he develops. It shows that he is no longer afraid of facing this old past of his and that it's behind him because he's so much happier now. And another side tangent before I get really deep, I'd like to focus on how Miyamura sees Hori as this light at the end of the tunnel. The idea of knowing that she meant so much to him, did so much for him, and in return all he wanted to do was make her smile, make her happy. God, man. Again, his ending speech really emphasizes this point, and that's why it made me cry. They've both done wonders for each other, and it shows. After all the shit he's been through, he's found someone who would literally accept him for who he is. Love him for who he is. Damn. This part of the video is being recorded at 1 AM as it's the deepest part of the video. I didn't really want to record this in the middle of the day because I didn't want such thoughts weighing me down for the rest of the day. So why not do it when I'm about to sleep? Horimiya is one of the happiest, most beautiful things I've ever watched. But it's also really depressing. Because you flesh out these characters so much with their looks, their faces, their hobbies, their habits. This series fleshes everyone out so well. You learn so much about everyone. And nothing is colder than the punch to your gut when you finish that last episode and all that follows is a black screen. There's no more next episode. You're not gonna know what the characters are up to anymore, because they're not real. Now let me tackle another issue that, though I don't suffer from, a lot of people seem to suffer from, and I feel like this really does need to be said. Romance animes in general tend to make people really sad because they think, I'll never experience this. But I say nay. Romance animes are a beautiful reminder of what's to come for everyone. because there's 7,999,999,999 other people out there. Throw in a bit more. One of them is gonna love you back. One of them you're gonna mean the world to. And they're gonna mean the world to you. One day you're gonna have somebody who's gonna walk with you under shooting stars. One day you're gonna have somebody who'll hold your hand and tell you that they like it. One day, someone's gonna trigger a whirlwind of emotions inside you that, like Miyamura, you never knew you could feel. Someone's gonna break down your walls. Someone's gonna tear every front that you have away. You might think otherwise, but there will be that one person who will waltz right in through all your barriers, all your fronts, whatever you try to put up against them. And they're gonna let their walls down around you too. Someone's gonna be there to marry you. Someone's gonna be there to want to gift you the skies. Someone is gonna be there. So don't let romance animes remind you that you're alone, because it's not gonna be that way forever. Let romance animes be a reminder that love is a beautiful thing, and that one day, assuming you're not a horrible person, you, along with many others just like you, will experience it. And for an anime to so perfectly remind me of such a deep emotion, it's a 10. Yeah, no, it's peak. This is truly just peak.
I got your pics.
I don't want to end the video on a sappy note, because this video shouldn't be sappy. This video is about how triumphant of a message this anime gives, that something's gotta give. If you're dying to live, someone's gonna wake you up and pull you out of the sinking feeling that you're trapped in. Might not be a lover, might just be a friend. Who knows who it'll be, but someone for you will be there down the line, eventually. So if you're watching this show and feel like a lonely piece of shit at the end, don't. Because I didn't. Come on, man, you have a whole life ahead of you, and you're telling me you're giving up now? Dream big. Remember when they said what you want could never be done? Prove them wrong. Do what you want to. You're gonna have people to pick you up when things drag you down. So thank you so much for watching this shitty video essay. Don't let anything get to you, because there's no point in losing your mind. Just let it happen.